Top5rapwebsite.com. You already know what's going on. Today we got Nipsey Hussle, Victory Lap. So first and foremost, R.I.P. Nip. Shout out to Black Sam. So Victory Lap, man. This was the first album by young Nip Hussle. This was long awaited. If you go back to Nipsey Hussle's Bullets Ain't Got No Name mixtapes, volume 1, 2, 3, you can hear him shouting out his album. He on certain songs he's saying like, yo, my album's coming soon, like, yo, my album about to be shit, man, like, it's coming. And back then it was called South Central State of Mind, so kind of a reference to Nas's New York State of Mind. Nipsey's album was called originally South Central State of Mind. But you know, years passed and things with labels happened, and kind of the Nipsey Hussle story was created. You know, he wasn't finding a situation that worked best for him, so he stayed independent. And because of that, you had a lot of people saying he fell off. Because when you make the choice to go independent, I mean, you're bubbling at first because you have songs like Hustle in the House, and you may have some videos that got you some rep. But then when you stay independent, you don't get that huge marketing push that a label will give you. So that's kind of what happened to Nip. After Bullets Ain't Got No Name Volume 3, he came with the Marathon, and these are all great mixtapes. All the Bullets Ain't Got No Name mixtapes, all great mixtapes. At this point, I would say you could call that a classic mixtape series, at least regionally. Marathon, I feel like, is a classic mixtape. Probably Nip's best project, other than Victory Lap. So Victory Lap, I had a long time to sit with it. It came out February of 2018, so that was like a year ago. And immediately, I'm like, okay, this is a great album. It has that production quality, very clear. Nipsey's very clear in his voice. The songs are all on point with Nipsey's Marathon brand. And his songs don't stray too much from what he's done in the past. You got Blue Laces 2, which is a sequel to Blue Laces. Keys to the City 2, which is a sequel to Keys to the City. You got Grinding All My Life, which falls right in line with songs like Grind Mode off the Marathon mixtape. You got Dedication, which falls right in line with, you know, Nip. So he was really on brand in this album. And the production quality, the quality of his microphone, quality of the lyrics, everything sonically, aesthetically, it's clean, and it's, you know, CDQ, and it's top-notch quality. So that's the first thing I noticed, is how well it sounds. And then you get into the songs. You know, the album opens up with Victory Lap featuring Stacey Barth, dope song. Then it goes into Rap Niggas, which is one of the singles. It's got that Natural Born Killers vibe, Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. Nipsey tells a story about how Diddy actually had him go back to the studio so he could bring up the sound and production quality of the song that I was talking about earlier. After Rap Niggas, it goes into Last Time That I Checked. Last Time That I Checked featuring YG, probably the most recognizable song on this album. Classic song, classic West Coast song. Probably one of the best West Coast hooks in hip hop of all time. Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rap. Last time that I checked, I was selling zones in the set, made $250,000. No sweat, like, come on. After Last Time That I Checked, you go into Young Niggas, which features Diddy. And then after Young Niggas, you go into Dedication. So I just want to look at those first 5 tracks. Victory Lap, Rap Niggas, Last Time That I Checked featuring YG, Young Niggas, and Dedication featuring Kendrick. So you got 3 of those 5 songs, Rap Niggas, Last Time That I Checked, and Dedication, that I feel like can fit anywhere in Nipsey's discography as his best song. You put any of those one songs or any of his other projects, and we would look at that as one of his best songs. It's a very strong start to Victory Lap. After Dedication, you go right into Blue Laces 2. So that's another song that we can add, you know, to this amazing stretch. And you'll notice on my channel, on my website, when I'm talking about an album, I am specific at times about certain stretches of songs and sequences of songs, because that can add to the strength of an album. So just starting off, the first 6, 7 songs after Blue Laces 2 goes Hustle and Motivate. That's half the album. Nipsey Hussle really put his best foot forward. Hustle and Motivate is one of his most fan favorite songs. Blue Laces 2, one of his best songs, period. Blue Laces 2 is a sequel to Blue Laces 1. And prior to this album, I would say Blue Laces 1 was my favorite Nip song. But Blue Laces 2 just has this, now a very haunting verse where Nip recalls a shooting at the beach and one of his friends got shot, or maybe one of his family members got shot. And he describes the scene of them getting shot and then taking them to the hospital. And he just has this very, now it's just a really cryptic verse.
Bitch started to panic, so I made her switch seats. Driving there, police chopper here flying there. Really not too spooked, calmly ask me, am I dying now?
Blue Laces 2, and that's just a song I want to spend some time on, because Blue Laces 1, even that first verse, man, on Blue Laces 1, it is very just cryptic to hear, because Nip in a way almost describes his own death. A line on the first verse of Blue Laces, he goes, hustler, go hard, make sure my not swollen, fuck it, say the wrong hood, bullets exploded, and I trust few people these days, cause that's golden. I see niggas get killed for who they roll with, and chose to keep around the circle, Satan sitting on your sofa. Same nigga that shot you is the one you used to smoke with.
I see niggas get killed for who they roll with, and chose to keep inside their circle, Satan sitting on your sofa. Same nigga that shot you was the one you used to smoke with.
So yeah, I won't go too much into that line, because I'm trying to keep this an upbeat, type of review. And Nip said don't entertain clown shit. He said that when he was alive, so I won't even give the clown shit and the clowns any PR on my channel. But Status Symbol 3, that's a follow-up to Status Symbol 1 and 2, featuring Buddy. So shout out to Buddy, man. If y'all remember my best of 2018 list, Buddy ranked pretty high on that list. So he came through with this feature, and he sounds very at home. It sounds like him and Nip work together often. They just mesh right with each other. After Status Symbol 3, you got Sucker Proof. Don't play no games, boy, I'm sucker proof. That's just something that you play out at a little league game, or a sports game, something, casual loose, but you need something banging, and you need a little bit of aggressiveness, but you don't need like some killer shit. Sucker Proof is that song. Keys to the City 2, featuring T-Fly. Shout out to T-Fly, he appears on a bunch of West Coast songs. Still Callin', featuring Dom Kennedy, who's also on this album. Grinding on My Life. So the beat on Grinding on My Life, and just the way I'm talking on that. That West Side RSCs is us. LAPD on my dick, I'ma squeeze and bust. like, come on.
No, the West Side RSCs is us. LAPD on my dick, I'ma squeeze and bust.
After Grinding on My Life, you go into Million While You Young. So in my opinion, this album could have had a couple different outros. Million While You Young could have been an outro, and Blue Laces 2 could have been an outro. And also the actual outro, Real Big, featuring Marsha Ambrosius, is a good outro. And Marsha Ambrosius, is it me, or does she just appear on all the real rap dudes' albums? Like, they love getting Marsha Ambrosius, and she always meshes perfectly. She doesn't overpower the song. She doesn't ever not give enough. Like, she always just fits perfectly with the rapper she works with. Million While You Young, featuring The Dream, that's one of my favorite songs on this album. Nip kind of channels his Jay-Z flow. All money in, it's just us four. It's just Copy, it's just Harvey, it's just Rand Paul.
All money in, it's just us four. It's just Copy, it's just Harvey, it's just Rand Paul. It's just Adam, it's just Black Sam, and both the facts.
Loaded Bases, dope song featuring CeeLo. So another star-studded feature on this album. And I actually didn't talk about Kendrick's verse on Dedication. Nipsey is one of those. He's one of the, a lot of people, or not a lot of people, some people say, people who weren't hip to Nipsey when he was alive, they'll say, oh, nobody appreciated Nipsey till he died. That's actually not true. This is Nipsey's first album, right? On this album, he has 2 separate rappers from his city, like, praising him, giving him his flowers in the verses on their songs. I'm speaking about Dedication, but when you listen to Last Time That I Checked, YG is like talking to Nipsey in this verse, thanking him. He's like I remember the things he's talking to him almost like Nipsey was dead already. Like, but Nipsey was just getting props when he was alive. So YG's in his verse said, like, he's like, I remember all those things you told me. Like, you be giving game like a big brother.
I remember all that game you told me. Don't fuck around and get played by the.
And then Kendrick on Dedication also gives Nips his flowers. So he's talking about how he's talking to his homie L. And I guess they're talking about who Kendrick should do a song with. And Al is like, no, don't do a song with him. Do a song with Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle's a better Crip. But then Kendrick responds like, what? Like, better Crip? Like, but he's a man first. Like, we not gonna compliment like what he's doing for the streets and for people in prison.
My nigga L said you do a song with Nip. Can't I hear better Crip? I said he a man first. You hear the words out his lips about flourishing from the streets to black businesses.
So you got 2 separate rappers. Nipsey is still alive at this point when these verses are recorded and this album comes out. giving him his props. Like, yo, man, this is your first album. You taught us a lot already. And these are not just like lower tier rappers, peers. These aren't like younger rappers who came up on him. These are his peers. YG was popping before Nipsey. Like, YG had Tooted and Booted and Amy and She's a Model and PK. He had all that before Nipsey Hussle, caught fire. And Kendrick, he's in a whole separate group, but he still gives those props. Yeah, man. And then the outro, Real Big. Real Big actually has 2 extra songs in there, and one of those songs is Double Up, featuring Dom Kennedy. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time humble us. So that, I know a lot of people can relate to that. Never let a hard time humble us. Nip's not saying, don't be humble. He's saying, we're not gonna let this hard time make us walk with our head down. Everyday things you can relate to, man. That's what Nip gave. And, that's what he still continues to give as his music lives on. So, yeah, man. Shout out to Nipsey. Shout out to the family. Victory Lap. When this album came out, so I don't care if y'all think I'm dick riding. But when this album came out, I initially said, like, later in the year, after a couple months passed, I went back and listened to the album, and I'm just like, man, like, this is a really just quality album. I can't really nitpick at it like I'm doing, because at the end of every year, I compile my, best of list, and it's usually about 100 or so albums. I'm like, I really can't front on this. Like, this has to be higher. So, end of last year, you can go on top5rapwebsite.com and look at my best of 2018 list. Victory Lap, if I'm not mistaken, was top 5, and there was a lot of great albums. Any album in the top 25 could have been in the top 10. There was so many great albums last year, but I had to keep Victory Lap high, and I had to keep Swimming by Mac Miller high. And this was before either of them died. They were high in the list, like fighting for number 1. And I called this album a classic, a regional classic at the very least, last year. So again, this is before Nip died. A lot of people, I guess, didn't see him in that light before then, but I like to, speak things into existence and call things before they happen. So I called Victory Lap a classic, like in 2018, October or November. Just going based off the album. When I go to LA, even when Nip was alive, you heard this album. Like, you hear people banging last time that I checked. You hear, like, you in your apartment, you hear the random dude outside screaming the lyrics to rap niggas. Like, that's the type of album that this was. So and just based on the quality and what I saw in the city, I knew this is at the very least a regional classic. Maybe it's not happening everywhere else, but when this came out, I was living in LA and Long Beach, and this definitely hit the city. So yeah, Victory Lap, this is a classic album. 4.5, 5 stars. It's one of those albums, 4.5, 5 stars. We talk about the best songs in the album: Real Big, Double Up, Million While You're Young, Grinding All My Life, Blue Laces 2, Dedication. Last time that I checked, Rap Niggas. That's over half the album, man. Shout out to Nip, man, Young Nip. Shout out to Black Sam. Shout out to the folks, man. Top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.
All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah, man. Look at that. All the gangs, well, most of the gangs from LA walking over the Nip spot right now. All praise is due to Allah. Wow. 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 Wow, look at that. All the gangs walking over the Nip spot. All praise to Allah. Wow.
Present for you right here. Look at your present. Hey, Trey Gangsters and Rolling 60. Here you go.
On behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and this grateful nation of Islam, we are here to dedicate this time and moment to one of our great princes. Let us do this in the name of Nipsey Hussle.